There's something in your daily routine, something very common, that may be affecting your kidneys more than most people realize. And the surprising part is, it doesn't feel harmful. It doesn't feel extreme. In fact, it often feels completely normal, something you've done for years. But over time, small, repeated habits can have a much bigger impact than they seem, especially after 60, because your body changes, not in a negative way, but in a more sensitive way, more responsive, more dependent on balance. And your kidneys. They're one of the most important systems quietly working for you every day. They support your body in ways you don't always notice. Filtering, balancing, supporting circulation. But here's the thing. They don't usually send clear signals when something is off. Changes happen gradually, which is why awareness becomes so important. Today, I want to walk you through a few common habits that may be putting extra pressure on your kidneys, and what you can do instead, step by step. Before we get into the habits, let's take a moment to understand something simple. Your kidneys are constantly working. Every hour, every day, they help maintain balance in your body. Fluids, electrolytes, circulation support, and as we get older, their capacity naturally changes, not suddenly, gradually, which means they may need a bit more support than they used to. And certain habits that once felt completely fine may now have a stronger effect, not immediately, but over time. Let's start with something that might surprise you. The first habit is not something you eat or drink. It's how much you move, or how little. Spending long periods sitting has become very common. Watching TV, using a phone, sitting for hours without much movement. And it doesn't feel like a problem. But your circulation depends on movement. When you move, blood flows more actively. Your body distributes nutrients more efficiently. And your kidneys receive steady support. But when you stay still for long periods, everything slows down slightly, not dramatically, but enough to matter over time. A simple step here is to break up long periods of sitting. Stand up, move around. Even a few minutes can help. The second habit is something many people keep at home and use without thinking too much about it. Occasional pain relief. Something for discomfort, for joints, for headaches. Used from time to time. And in many situations, that's completely reasonable. But when use becomes frequent or long-term, it's something worth paying attention to because your body processes everything you take, and your kidneys are part of that process. This doesn't mean avoiding support when you need it. It means being mindful, using it appropriately, and checking in if something becomes regular. Now let's talk about something very common. Salt, but not just what you add to your food. The less obvious sources. Packaged foods. Prepared meals. Items that don't even taste very salty, but still contain more than expected. Your body needs balance. And when that balance shifts, it can affect how your body manages fluids and overall comfort. A helpful habit here is simple awareness, reading labels, cooking more at home when possible, and using natural flavors to support your meals. Now let's move to something that often goes unnoticed. Sugar, and not just obvious sweets, but also refined foods that your body quickly turns into sugar. White bread, pastries, packaged snacks, sweetened drinks. These are part of many daily routines. And in small amounts, occasionally, they may not seem like a concern. But when they become frequent, that's where your body starts to respond differently. Because your system has to process these quick spikes in energy. And over time, that can influence how balanced everything feels. Energy levels, weight, overall comfort, And this is especially important after 60 because your body becomes more sensitive to these patterns. Now, let's bring these habits together for a moment. Movement, occasional medications, salt, sugar. Individually, they may not seem significant, but together, over time, they form a pattern. And your body responds to patterns, not isolated moments. This is why small, consistent changes can have a meaningful impact. Not overnight, but steadily. Let's make this practical. You don't need to change everything at once. In fact, it's better not to. Start with one area. If you sit for long periods, add short breaks. If your meals include more packaged foods, try adjusting one meal per day. If you rely on quick snacks, replace one with a simpler option. Small steps, repeated consistently. There's also something important about awareness. Many people don't notice changes until they become obvious, but your body often gives subtle feedback earlier. Energy, comfort, how you feel after meals, how you feel throughout the day. When you start paying attention to these signals, you begin to understand what supports you best. And here's something encouraging. Your body responds to positive changes, even small ones, within days or weeks. You may notice more stable energy, more comfort in your daily routine, a sense that things feel a bit more balanced. That's your body adapting. Now, let's go a little deeper, because understanding why often makes change easier. When your body processes food, handles fluids, responds to movement, everything is connected. There's no single system working alone, and your kidneys are part of that larger system. They respond to what you do throughout the day, not just one habit, but the overall pattern. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. You don't need extremes. You don't need strict rules. You need sustainable habits, things you can continue comfortably. Because your body benefits from what you repeat, not what you do once. Let's bring this back to your daily life. Think about your routine today. How much you moved, what you ate, how you felt. Not to judge it, just to observe. Because awareness is the first step toward improvement. And if something stands out, that's where you begin. Not everywhere, just one place, one adjustment, something simple, something realistic. So here's what I recommend. Start small, stay consistent, and listen to your body. Because your body responds to care, to balance, to attention. And over time, those small choices shape how you feel. If this helped you see things a little differently, take a moment to reflect on your routine. And if you know someone who might benefit from this, share it with them. Sometimes, the right information at the right time can make a meaningful difference. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you in the next video.